Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So as promised last week, we are getting back to the read-throughs this weekend. So we're getting around to the next volume of Battle Angel Alita, Mars Chronicle, as well as the next couple of chapters of Black Hammer as well. Hopefully I will get around to both of those videos today. If not, definitely look out for at least Black Hammer tomorrow, along with a new Bride Story volume read-through as well. I just finished recording the Shonen Jump videos for today, so without further ado, we're going to dive into Battle Angel Alita in just a second here. Before that, I want to remind you, as always, if you like this content, please do continue liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, it really does help me out, kind of promoting these videos to a wider audience, and it also kind of lets me know that you enjoy these videos, you want to see more of them. Which really kind of helps inspire and motivate me to keep going. So if you'd like to continue doing that, or if you haven't already, if you'd like to help start doing that, we greatly appreciate it. But yeah, without further ado, let us dive into Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle Volume 3. As we have log 012, My House. And we have Erica going, "Stop following me around everywhere!" And she starts like running off, and poor baby Yoko's like, "Wait, don't leave me behind, Erica!" And you see, what the hell is this? Like, you see a bunch of like weird carnival faces almost staring down at her. She's like, "Where are you, Erica?" God. And you see her just like hiding behind like the little masked figures, I want to say, and she's like mischievous smile on her face. She's like, "Sorry for teasing you like that, Yoko." It's like, "Erica, it's gonna make it up to you with a kiss." What the fuck is this, bro? And as she like kisses her on the face with a tear, she like licks her lips. She's like, "Your tears are yummy. I'll lick your eyes for you too." He's like, "Ugh." It's like, it's so cute the way she twitches. Like, "You're so cute. I just want to gobble you up." And he's like, "Oof." And then she just swallows something. Oh, what the fuck, bro? And you see on the next page is you have Yoko without her eyes, just like blood dripping down one of them, going, "Give back my eyes!" And with a scream, Erica just wakes up like dripping in sweat. And Yoko's also like waking up, like rubbing the sleep out of her eyes. And Erica just talks to her, like, "Oh, Yoko, I'm so relieved." And Finch is like, "Were you having a bad dream, Erica? So we'll be at your house very soon. I can see a curious shot up ahead." You see the poor kids having to snack on some more B-mite. It's like, yuck, more B-mite. It's like, yuck. And you see their eyes like little cross shapes. And you have like, and Erica's like, "My dad's the coolest and nicest dad on Mars. And my mom is the nicest and most beautiful mom in the galaxy. And Hershey is huge and soft and fluffy." And you see, you just like imagine like the stereotypical child and parents with like their huge St. Bernard. It's like, "My house has a red roof and white walls. We always drove around in a sky blue car and had picnics outside." It's like, "Mama's sandwiches were so good." And Yoko's like, "Lucky. Yoko wants a mama and papa." And Finch is like, "We'll be in Kurishtat once we're through the tunnel." And you see Kurishtat, a colonipolis built inside of Curie Crater, located at 29 degrees north, 5 degrees west. And you have, as they're going to like this bustling town, you have Purpurn Road. That'd be west sector. It's like, see where the dome's busted? Under there. And you see like Erica just kind of clutching her eye. And Yoko's like, "What's wrong, Erica?" It's like, "My eye, it hurts." And you see that the little kebab stand owner, the guy that they're at, goes, "Look, you don't want to take children there. They call that area the UXO district, unexploded ordnance. It's a dangerous place. Nobody wants to live there if they can help it. What with all the unexploded bombs? Only vagrants and outlaws to be found." And you have Vervornung, Gefährden Zone as Blindganger. You have warning, danger zone ahead, unexploded ordnance. And you see just like a bunch of missiles stuck in the ground, like around a bunch of rubble. And you see Finch going, "Here we are, 818 Purpurn Road. The map says this is the place." And you see poor Erica just kind of like looking down like this shell burnt out house. He's like, "It's not true. This isn't it. It's not mine. I don't know this house. My mom and dad are the nicest." Ah, I knew it. I knew it as soon as we saw the beginning, which has got like the happy imagining that I was like, she must have come from an abusive household. Like, there's no way. And it turns out, yeah, ha, ha, that's right, Hershey, get her. And I see that the dad is a drunk, and he's like actually just like sicking the dog on her. Yeah, don't you dare give me that look. I'll poke your eye out to teach you a lesson. And she's like, stop, Papa, Mama, don't hurt me. And you see Finch outside talking to this guy like these four like spider legs. He's like, the folks who lived here? Sure, I knew them. Boy, they were a pair. Real pieces of work. Johann was a grave robber and a drunk. Marita was a prostitute, a real twisted woman. Burglars invaded their home about 3 months back, killed them both. They had a young daughter, just the sweetest little angel, not like them at all. I think her name was... Finch is like, her name's Erica. I'm looking for her relatives. Oh my god, man. You see Erica's like running up the stairs going, no, this is all wrong. And Yoko's like, Erica, wait. So we went on picnics in that sky blue car. And as she goes upstairs and looks out the window, you have like just this... Oh my god, man. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. And you see Ashley looks outside, like just look of like shock comes over her face as she sees this little billboard outside with like the picture perfect family, smiling mom and father, like the father holding the kid in his arm with happy family, happy life. And you see Erica just kind of falls unconscious from the shock as Yoko's like, Erica! And he's like, it'll be tough to find any relatives, I reckon. Johann's a deserter from the Southern Warlord's forces. I've heard Marita was the consort of a superior officer. Then again, he was a known bullshitter. Who knows how much of that was true? And Finch is like, what's that you've got there, by the way? He's like, can't you tell? It's a dud. You see, he just got like a little rocket under his thing. He's just like tapping on with a hammer. He's like, but the debt collectors don't know that yet. Oh, god damn, man. I think this is supposed to be a flashback. And you see poor, like, Erica just, like, dead look in her eyes. I think this is after her mother stabbed her eye out. You see bandages covering it as it's just kind of, like, bleeding through it. And she hears, like, these two people in the alleyway going, is that intel solid? Johann really got a big-ass treasure? It's like, dead-ass true, I heard. He's talking up a storm about it at Henkel's bar. And you see Erica going outside to go, are you here to steal Papa's treasure? He's like, hey, this kid just heard us. It's like, no shit, what should we do now? And you see later that night as you have her father snoring, knocked out drunk, and you hear a clink and a, who's there? And as he's reaching for his gun, he's like, my gun's tied up with wire? And you see one of the bandits kicking him in the face, and he's like, how the hell did you get in here? I booby-trapped the place. It's like, Hershey, where are you, Hershey? Oh, sorry, excuse me, throat's running dry already. Ugh. Usually I don't like violence against dogs in like anything, but I will kind of give this one a pass. You have Hershey, where are you, Hershey? Is he outside, like dog just like foaming at the mouth, lying down. It's like the dog, one piece of poisoned ass meat took care of him. It's like, now hand over that juicy ass treasure, old man. Oh my god. You could not have written more stereotypical gangster with the guy like holding his gun sideways. He's like, my treasure? Coon's like, you wouldn't know what to do with it. Erica's like, the treasure's sitting under the floorboards beneath the carpet. He's like, Erica, did you? It's like, you bought them in here? It's like, Erica, you betrayed your own father? And as he tries to like reach out for her, the goon's just pump him full of lead. And he's like, yeah, honey, are you? And you see a crack as they also shoot the mother as well. And then as the robbers open it up, like, the hell is this? That's the treasure? And you see that it's just a book or a journal of some kind. What the hell does it say? Is it Baumkrieger? Baumkrieger Sei Earl von Glauschmidt, I want to say? Like, just an old-ass book, man. It's like, you shitting me? That's it? That's some weak-ass reward? And you see them just dropping on the floor. It's like, busted their asses for nothing. And you see Erica's just got in a bag, she's like taking the book and dropping it in there. And the mother's like, Erica, call the doctor. It's like, what are you? Oh my god, man. And you see that she's just like taking some booze and just like pouring it over her mother. It's like, what are you doing, Erica? And she grabs a lighter and like lights it. It's like, no, you can't. It's like, please, dear, Mama's sorry. I wasn't good to you. I'm sorry about your eye. And as she just drops the lighter, she's like, rotten hell, you wretched little bitch. So it's the mother saying, not Erica. And you see Erica with just like this unhinged look on her face as she's smiling as she's watching her house just go up in flames. God damn it. Is it just like a thing where Kishiro's just like, I'm going to start off every volume of this series with like the most horrific tragedy imaginable just to punch you in the gut repeatedly. As you have Log 013, The Masked Man. And you have the Tita Kagan orbital solar mirrors. And you have these reflect the weak light of the sun onto the cold surface of Mars to warm it up. But there are far too few of them to cover the entire Martian surface. Excuse me. So every 3 years, the Gross Oxen, 18 great lords who oversee the Martian colony, hold a meeting to discuss the sharing of the Tita Kagan. This is known as the Council of Edom. While Yoko and Erica were on their way to Kurishtat, an incident was unfolding at the council that would shake Mars to its core. And you have come to order. This begins the 12th Council of Edom. And you have Antonia D. Flammarion, Sidonia, Noakis, Sabara, Cromlin, Zante, Mariners, Arger, and then a bunch of other names. And you have Secretary Porwitz will serve as proxy for Lady Kagura of Sidonia on account of illness. And for Lord Silber Flammarion, Captain Cesaro of the Papagi Corps will stand in. And you have, objection! I'll not stand for an officer from a military coup in our midst. And he goes, and I won't stand for your insults. I've got a proxy form signed by Lord Silber himself. He's like, well, I hear nobody even knows if the Silber family is alive or dead. And you have documents and signatures can easily be forged. And she boof flap as there's like a wind coming through, as like papers are flying everywhere. It's like, where's this wind coming from? It's like, this is ridiculous. Someone shut off the air conditioning. Joe, what? It's like, who are you? As you see this masked, cloaked figure with a cane standing at what I assume is the balcony. And you have a combination of tuxedo mask and the Phantom of the Opera here. Going, good evening, my esteemed colleagues. He goes, guards! And you see the guards just like lurching and falling over. And he's like, it's like useless cretins. It's like someone, anyone. And there's like, they're dead with no external wounds. How strange. And the masked intruder is like, ha ha ha, settle down, gentlemen. He's like, what did you do to them, bandit? It's like, naturally, the military man is the boldest of the group. Out of appreciation for your bluster, I will give you the answer to that question. I merely switched out a single part in the cyborg circulatory system. It was timed perfectly so that the poison would act when the council meeting began. It's like, you changed out a part? On personal guards from all 18 provinces across Mars? It's simply impossible. It's like, why are you so certain of that? I've been planning and preparing for this day for 10 long years. What you call impossible, I call patience. It's like, who are you? What do you want? It's like, pardon me, I've been so rude. I am Baron Muster. Why does that sound so familiar? It's like, needless to say, I'm here for the rights to Tita Kagan Light. It's like, you demand reflective rights? It's like, they're directly linked to food production. We don't just hand that over for nothing. It's like, on the contrary, I want you to take the rights away from one of your provinces. It's like, well, what? Take them away? It's like, from whom? It's like, you may distribute the extra usage amongst yourselves as you wish. It's like, how does that sound to you? Good? Yes. It's like, though Sidonia may disagree after they've lost their sunlight. It's like, well, what? It's like, absolutely not. Winter's beginning in the northern hemisphere. If we don't have use of the mirrors, the death toll will be catastrophic. It's like, you're still as stubborn as ever, I see. And how is Lady Kagura feeling, eh? It's like, what's that you say? Starvation and freezing? All well and good. I seek nothing less than to plunge Sidonia into hell. And she's like, who are you? It's like, oh. It's like, what is it, Miss Porway? It's like, your face has gone white. And she crick is some, what the hell? And you see like cracks just started going up her face. And next she just kind of like shatters apart and breaks apart, almost like she's like a clay statue. And they start screaming. He's like, wah ha ha ha, yeah, hee. And he just starts like, puts on a little gas mask to breathe. He's like, oh, what a ghastly display. It's like, she's hard as stone, like a plaster statue. He's like, ha. It's like, she got exactly what she deserved. And now you've seen that I can make no mere idle you've seen that I make no mere idle threats. That's a poison that instantly crystallizes the body's protein structures. And only I know how to make it. As it happens, I've administered to each of you already. And they're like, what? He's like, no, you can't. Spare me. I don't want to die like that. Excuse me, sorry, my throat's really running dry with all this. He goes, yes, plead all you like. Nobody wants to lose their life. The poison only activates the crystallization process upon contact with the catalyst I hold. But if you agree to my aforementioned proposal, I can guarantee that you leave this place alive. And one of the others is like, very well. But this must be kept an absolute secret. It's like, Muster, now I remember you. You're the head of that criminal enterprise that's been running rampant everywhere. Stealing from, kidnapping, and murdering the innocent. They say the boss is a masked mystery man carrying a golden cane. And I'm guessing that's you. And he goes, oh, Winter, heed my summons. And show this rabble the sheer depth of my wrath. And you see again a little flashback to Erica, like looking at the little poster billboard outside her room. God. And she goes, she goes outside to it, and then pulls out a little rock, and then uncovers where she'd hidden the old backpack with her book. It's like, here it is. It's like, Papa was a bad man, but he had an incredible gift for spotting treasure. There's no way this is just some old book. I better keep it close. Now as she heads back, she sees Finch talking to someone. And like this black sedan that drives away. And as it does, she's like, did something happen, Doctor? He's like, Erica, it's major news. Would you believe it? They found Yoko's mother. And she's like, what? You see, as they're driving through the city, they said Yoko's mother's waiting at the city administrative building. He's like, is it really Yoko's mommy? And you have, the invitation came from the mayor of Curie, so I certainly hope so. And she's like, isn't this great, Yoko? They found your mommy. And Yoko just has like no expression on her face. He's like, wake up, Yoko, you should be excited. And she's like pulling her cheeks, trying to stretch it to smile. And she just kind of gives her a hug as she's thinking about something. And you see, as they're crossing across the bridge into like this giant like central hub city thing, you see them walking, like waiting in this expensive garden with like little gazebo like thing, and you see like this little winding lazy river with like these stones laid across it, and a water fountain. You have, look, Erica, there's a fountain. And Finch is like, that's quite a nice book you got there, Erica. It's like, it was Papa's. It's like on War by Karl von Clausewitz, Volume 2. And you have, you have Baby Yoka just like splashing around in the water in the fountain. And Erica's like, I think it's a clue leading to some kind of treasure. It's like, well, let's see. And you see Finch reading it with, this is a newly discovered and upgraded draft of the final 2 parts previously believed unfinished, with added notes collected in 2 volumes. And you see Flap is a hawk or something, like a falcon, with like this little mechanized like helmet lands nearby. You have Clausewitz's On War, a book on military strategy by Prussian General Karl von Clausewitz, 1780 to 1831. His widow Marie compiled his unfinished script and published it after his death. And you have, this is military knowledge and theory from the 19th century. Doesn't seem to have anything about treasure written in it. Perhaps the book itself is worth something. And Sharon, oh, Yoko! Oh, God, you see this woman just running up to her and hugging her. It's like, how I've missed you, my dear. And he's like, are you my mama? It's like, yes, I am your mother. But you can't be blamed for not remembering. Oh, look at how soaked you are, dear. And she got like a towel and she's like drying her off. And she bows before Finch. She's like, you helped bring my little Yoko back. How can I ever thank you? This has got to be a fake out of some kind. He's like, please, ma'am, stand up. He's like, can you tell me how this happened? And the mother's like, she had to undergo cyberization shortly after birth due to her illness. They bombed the hospital and I was injured. We wound up separated during all the chaos. I'm afraid I can't tell you my name, but I can say that we're related to the Baumberg family. This scarf of hers is proof. See the special Sidonian blue of the material? That's unique to North Sidonia. And here's the wax of the Baumbergs. It's like, here, a token of my gratitude. And he's like, no ma'am, I couldn't accept such a sum. It's like, please, I insist you take it. He's like, come Yoko, it's time to say goodbye to your friend. And as she's about to leave, you see Erica just grabbing her hand and dragging her away. And Finch is like, Erica! He's like, no, you can't take Yoko away. And Yoko's like, Erica. He's like, we promise we'll be together forever. And Finch is like, come now, behave, Erica. It's like, no, Yoko belongs to me. It's like, it's not fair. Why does Yoko get a nice mommy and I don't? Oh, poor girl. And you see just tears climbing down her face, like Finch is like trying to console her as Yoko's mother takes her away. As you have log 014, the roar of the guillotine belt. And you have a Finch going, there's a settlement not much farther ahead. Someone I know lives there. We'll be able to settle in there and think about what comes next. And you see Erica's eyes have kind of gotten lifeless again. He's like, just don't talk to me. He's like, the poor thing's been in a terrible mood since we left Curie. Being separated from Yoko's been very hard on her. And as he's driving along, he's like, oh, and he sees like this car just blocking their path. He's like, come now, we can't get by you. And you go, what was that? And something like leaps onto the top of the van. Oh, it's fucking the grasshopper asshole with the kee-hee-hee. He's like, I smell that little brat. This is the van, Das. It's like, good, we finally caught up to you. On one hell of a wild goose chase you led us on. It's like, all right, everybody out of the vehicle. And you see a gunslinger bro getting them out. And Finch is like, I'll give you my money. Just don't hurt us. It's like, we ain't bandits, man. Where's the kid in this photo? And they're flashing the picture of Yoko they have. And Erica's like, you're bad guys. Why are you looking for Yoko? He's like, tell me, little lady, where's your friend hiding, huh? So you better speak up, or a very scary man is going to come and get you. You see Gilliton sitting nearby, like his little round motorcycle. What the hell, bro? And you see there's like a schlang, he just like whips around back, kind of retreating back into his back. And Erica's like, I'll have you know that Yoko's great at playing hide and seek, so you'll never find her. Excuse me. And Dust's like, uh-oh, that attitude's not going to help your little friend. And you see Kilotan just with like a whip, whipping his little chain blade and slicing through the van. And Finch's like, no, stop! Ooh. And Dust's like, whoa! And you see Kilotan just like slicing through and completely wrecking it up. He's like, hey, stop, Gilliton, stop! Man doesn't know when to listen. It's like, I'm getting my slice on. Don't try to soften my harsh. It's like, look, I know the kid's small, but she ain't a rat. If she were in there, we'd have seen her by now. It's like, Rocco, give it a look. And he's like, hee, her stink's all over the place, but I'm not picking up anything. Just a few roaches at most. It's like, gotta be kidding me. It's like, fine. It's like, I don't want to do this, you understand, but we're kind of a long way, we can't go back empty-handed. So for the sake of our future prospects, I'm going to need you to cooperate with us. And he grabs Erica in a chokehold and puts the gun to her head. He goes, so you'd better remember where that kid in the picture is now, before her little friend gets it. Got it? And Finch is like, wait, stop! And she's like, don't tell them, Doctor. Yoko finally got to be with her mommy. Don't tell these bad guys where to find her. And he's like, Erica. It's like, oh, she's a fighter, isn't she? But if you're waiting for a hero to show up again like in the minefield, you're wasting your time. Oh my God. It's like, no hero is coming, but a scoundrel may appear without ever being called. As you see Munster showing up. Like, what? It's like, who the fuck are you? It's like, guten Tag, my tracker friends. And now I'll take the girl off your hands. He goes, I am Baron Muster. Since you don't seem to know, allow me to tell you that your employer, Poorwit, is long dead. He's like, what'd you say? It's like, your contract is void. You no longer have any reason for this chase. But I'm willing to cover your expenses incurred thus far. And Dust just looks at Gillett and kind of shakes his head no. He's like, I appreciate the generous offer, but no thanks. Not really sure if I can trust you, friend. He's like, ha, pardon me. I've been underestimating you, it seems. You're the flourish on the final chapter of my tale of revenge. The tougher, the better. Said, well, pal, I don't know what you're talking about, but from the way you speak, can I assume you were the one who falsified that database on us? He's like, hey, I'll leave that one up to your imagination. He's like, but in recognition of your professionalism, I can tell you that Yoko and her mother are headed for the Baumburg mansion in Sklodowska. And Finch is like, how do you know that? He's like, Baumburg, that's a branch family of the Dornbergs, lords of Sidonia. And as he's distracted, Erica manages to wriggle free and run away. He's like, hey! And you have an E! As Woodster just like snags on one of his, on the hooks of his little flying vehicle. It's like, son of a... So that's the famed Muster, huh? Slimy bastard. And he's like, what now? If our employer's really dead. It's like, sounds like royal trouble in Sidonia. But I smell money. I'm up for continuing the hunt. What about you? Gilliton's like, I'm in. So then we're going to Sklodowskia. As they take off. And then poor Finch is like, Erica. I see with a voom with Muster with, thank you for saving me, Mr. Massman. But I'm okay now. You can let me down. It's like, you're Johann Wald's daughter. Your name is Erica? It's like, yeah. You knew my daddy? It's like, of course I did. He and I worked together once. In fact, he took something I was meant to have and ran off with it. A book. Clausewitz's on War Volume 2. Now hand it over. He's like, no, you're a bad guy too. And he's like, wahaha, didn't I call myself a scoundrel earlier? It's like, once I have the book, I don't need you anymore. He's like trying to grab the bag off of Erica. You have warning, fuel reserve extremely low, making emergency landing. It's like, well, what? It's like, brace for impact. God. And you see with the boom as they land in the desert. And he's like, one of those shots must have punctured the body. And you see Erica just like clutching the book bag to her as she's running away. It's like, hey, you won't get far on those little legs. We're in the middle of nowhere, not a building in sight for kilometers around. Jevna! He's like, hey, already getting tired? And you see she's falling in a little quicksand pit. He's like, oh, quicksand. He's like, whoa, what's wrong? If you need help, just say the word. She's like, never. If you want this book, you'd better help me out of here. He's like, my word. You win, little girl. Here, grab this cane. And you see, so I assume that, okay, so I assume that whatever, like the weird mechanized falcon thing, that was also Muster's, like, accomplice, bird command, whatever. Because you see he has like a little falcon shaped handle on his cane. So he reaches it out to Erica so she can grab onto it. And as she does, you have a bump and he's like, Hur! It's like, another spasm. Why now? Excuse me, but I was really running dry today. And he falls into the quicksand as well. And Erica just grabs the cane and is like, you dum-dum, you doofus! She's smacking him on the head with it. It's like, who's going to save us if you fall in? He's like, my illness is further along than I realized. This is it, Erica. Curse your bad luck and give up. Oh, God damn it, man. And you see poor Erica just screaming Yoko's name as like tears are streaming down her face. And you see Anne, like this nice fancy airship, as Yoko's mom's feeding her. She's like, look at you, your face is all messy. Poor Yoko's like all happy. He's got like little like blush on her cheeks. Like, squeeze me, mama. It's like, okay, dear, you're just starved for affection, aren't you? It's like, you smell nice, mama. And you see in the quicksand, like Erica's hand is kind of like sinking under with the woofum. As you have log 015 alone together. And you're coughing a hack and am I alive? It's like, based on the sound refraction, it would seem we've fallen into a cavern. It's like, oh, it's like, it's you. It's like, I wish you'd been buried until you suffocated and died. It's like, oh, stop that wretched squealing. It's like, just wait. I'm going to give us some light. And you see him put on a little glow stick. And you see they fall into like this underground cavern. And Jeff, where are we? It's like, doesn't look that old actually. Judging by the construction, it appears to be a spaceship. I'm guessing it crash landed during the northern expeditions and was buried by sandstorms. It's like, no need to be so hostile. Let's call a temporary truce. And she's like, a truce? It's like, my followers are quite capable. They'll follow the landing spot of the Labelle to reach our current location. Until then, we must survive in this subterranean den. It behooves us to help one another. So let's start over on the right foot this time. I am Baron Muster. As you've noticed, I am sick and I can't move. So I need to ask your help. And he tosses the glow stick. He's like, well, do you see a lever? And you see her just like making her way through into the guts of the ship house, wherever. I said, just when I thought I was free, I got enslaved by a bad guy. What a poor, poor girl I am. And you see just streams of like sand falling on her, and she screams and she sees like a bunch of skeletons. And he's like, there, well done. And you see what I assume are like either a bunch of lights or like vents opening up. So my hunch was correct. The nuclear batteries still work. Now we're covered for light and oxygen for a while. And as Erica crawls out of the vent, she's like, that was horrible. He's like, well, what's the matter? And she's just like clutching his chest as he's spasming. He's like, it's coming to remove my equipment to treat my condition. But I warn you, close your eyes if you wish to spare yourself a truly ghastly sight. And Erica's like, are you going to take off your mask? I want to see. It's like, oh, so be it. But if you start bawling, I'll kill you and be done with it. Oh, god damn. Oh. Do you see he's got like this mop of like a bowl cut blonde hair, and you see he's just got like all these faces growing out of him. And he's like, hideous, aren't I? He's like, are these Siamese twins? So that's quite a term for a little girl to know. It's like, but no, this is not an innate feature of mine. This is a rare affliction called, fucking Christ. It's a rare affliction called mascotoma. And you see one of the faces just when the clack is like snaps his teeth together. It's like, all biological cells are equipped with the ability to develop into those of any organ. There's a substance capable of sending the cell's reproduction mechanism out of control, causing them to produce growths that resemble a human face, one after the other. This is called a mascotoma or mask tumor. Oof. And you see him just taking out like a bunch of needles. He just starts like sticking into the various faces and injecting them. It's like, the worst part is that they each have a brain, however feeble it might be. It's like, do they start talking on their own? It's like they have no windpipes or vocal cords. In fact, I don't even know if they're fully conscious. That part is not the problem. The human brain has terrible, let's call it fuel efficiency. It takes 20% of the entire body's oxygen and 25% of its glucose. So the mascotoma brains might be small. Enough of them together put great stress on the heart and lungs. And Shenanigans like, well, why don't you just chop them all off then? He's like, oh, don't think I hadn't considered it. But it's no use. The elements of the mascotoma permeated the cells all over my body. Even if I abandoned my biological body for a mechanical one, as long as my brain remains organic, it too will inevitably develop mascotomas. He's like, this is the medical measure I developed to counteract it. These injectors are filled with cancer cells created from my own body tissues. I'm treating poison with poison. The mascotomas and cancer cells devour one another, which temporarily halts their spread. So I'm aware that that is madness. My body will not last long as it is, and you can see that he's completely emaciated. His ribs are like completely sticking out. And Erica's like, you should stop being so evil and just go to a hospital. He's like, it's not as simple as that. Not until I've exacted my revenge upon the one who did this to me. I too was once a good-natured man who loved his family and life itself. But I was betrayed in the search for the hidden treasure of Mars. And I lost my loved ones, my human dignity, everything. After nearly 20 years, my grand plot for vengeance is nearly complete. Just 1 year, a half perhaps, it's all the time I need. Then I shall stand at the bedside of my tormentor and spit in that hateful face, as I laugh at the despair that I have wrought. Wah, wah, ha, ha. Why do I feel like this is going to be another Destiny Nova adjacent thing? And as he's coughing and hacking, she's like, it's not good for you to get too excited. And he's like, there's no absolute cure for my mascotoma condition. but there is one hope for me. It's like, Erica, do you know the fairy tale of the 9 kings and the Djinn of Mars? It's like, of course I know it. That's Yoko's favorite story. You have the 9 kings and the Djinn of Mars. You have the greedy kings swindle the Djinn of Mars out of their immortality potion and then set upon one another until they all perished in a war, using the Ethnarchs, giants built with Djinn magic. Without their potion, the Djinn's magic lost its strength, and they were fated to wander the planet as simple whirlwinds, crying all the while. The one honest king who chose not to take part in the war and was the only survivor, hid the potion, leaving only a magic staff and book as clues. Centuries later, a poor shepherd girl used the magic staff and magic book to discover the secret and find the potion of immortality. She lived a very long and happy life. It's like, yes, it's just a silly little fairy tale, but as a matter of fact, there are elements of truth to it. The immortality potion is real, and the key to finding its location are this golden cane and Clausewitz's On War Volume 2. It's like, this cane and book are the magic ones from the... Oh, sorry, that's Erica going. This cane and book are the magic ones from the story? And the legendary immortality potion just might cure me of these... Sorry, and he goes, and the legendary immortality potion might just cure me of these mascatomas. My life was turned upside down over that treasure, and now the quest for vengeance sends me after it again. It seems that no matter what I do, my fate is cursed by the great treasure of Mars. It's like, Erica's like, you shouldn't have told me that. If you want the cane and book back, you'd better do whatever I say. It's like, are you threatening me, girl? It's like, what can a little child like you do? It's like, you want to find out? I can light this book on fire. She goes up to like this little broken electrical cable nearby. And now she's like trying to hold it up and like try to use the cane as a conductor. She's like, huh? It's not lighting. And you see a little spark leaping onto the cane. She's like, yeep! The hell is that? And you see as after she strikes the cane, like the tail of the cane, like everything apart from the falcon head, starts whirling around like a snake. And Erica throws it with an eek! And Maskuerade just starts laughing. He's like, that startled me. It's like the cane is alive. He's like, the cane is made of a memory-retaining alloy. When it receives an electric current, it wriggles around like an earthworm for a time. There's a certain kind of logical pattern to the movement, I'll admit, but no one has ever solved the meaning of its mystery. And you see as Erica's watching it riding around, she's like, it's writing letters! The cane's writing letters in the sand! Motherfucker. And he's like, what? What is it writing? It's like, I can't see it from here. He's like, letters in the sand? It couldn't be so simple. It was just a writing machine? It's like, how could I be so blind? No wonder I never learned anything fiddling with it in my pristine lab. He's like, well done, Erica. Use this camera to take a picture of the letters. And Erica just grabs the cane and just like, with a swish, just wipes off all the stuff. He's like, hey, what in the world are you doing? He's like, I see. So you want to play tough, do you? Like, I give up. Fine, I guarantee your safety from this point on. I will not hurt you. Is that enough? Like, are you crazy? Of course that's not enough. It's like, don't get full of yourself. What do you want? Half of the potion? And he's like, I don't want any stupid treasure. I just want to be happy like the shepherd girl in the story. But I know that'll never happen. God. She's got like tears streaming out her face. He's like, I'm just a bad girl, and the shepherd was a good girl. The book said that bad children always get punished for their wickedness. He's like, well, speaking as a very accomplished man in the ways of being bad, let's hear your tale. What did you do that was so awful? And you see as Muster's like, mein Gott, I can't believe it. Erica told Muster the story of how she killed her parents. He's like, you loved your family, right? He's like, I did. This guy hated Daddy and Mommy, so I killed them. That makes me worse than you, doesn't it? And he's just like, fantastic. He's like, Erica, take it from me. This is nothing for you to worry about. In fact, be proud. Boast of your intelligence and strength. Who decided that the wicked are not allowed to be happy? He's like, wahaha! Now I can't possibly let you slip from my grasp. As of this day, Erica, you are to be my apprentice. As you have log 016, Castle of Evil. You have near the border between the provinces of Sidonia and Zanta, there is a region of crevasses that stretch for hundreds of kilometers in all directions. It is known as the Canyons of Despair. And inside you have this little mechanized, like, it looks almost like the spider thing from Wild Wild West. You have mobile hideout Castle Muster. Oh, and you see a boom as you see poor baby Erica in like the little like gym spandex outfit. She's got like all these little, I don't know what the hell the white marks are. I don't know if those are just scars. But she's got like little pigtails. And she gets flying back with a thwump. You have, come on, what happened to that attitude from earlier? On your feet. I don't know who this is. This is my new favorite character. I don't care who it is. New favorite instant character. It's like, on your feet. It's like, you said you were going to teach me how to use a knife. Why do you just keep kicking me? And you see your instructor just kicking Erica's feet out from under her. And she goes, shall I crush your other eye next? And she sees Muster watching them from outside and goes, today's lesson is over. It's like, Baron, are you feeling well enough to walk again? He's like, I'm not in good health, but I cannot simply rest all the time. How does she strike you, Zoe? And you see poor baby Erica's like crying inside. And Zoe's just kind of like, it's like, I don't know what you see in her. It's like, what do we stand to gain by taking in a child? It's like, we're taking the long view with her. It's like, what are you, a father raising his daughter? It's like, please, that's the last thing I want to see from you, Baron. And he just smacks her as she says this. Goes, I take your point to heart, Zoe. Are you afraid that I might find satisfaction from raising Erica, and that it would somehow reform me to the ways of good? Well, your concerns are unfounded. I plan to instill in her all of the philosophy of evil that I've studied. She will learn all the techniques of malice and wrongdoing. That way, if I should somehow stoop to being a saint, at least I will unleash an even greater evil upon the world first. And you see later as Erica's dressed up like a little gothic Lolita fashion. He's like, ow, it's like, I hate Zoe. She looks at me the way Mama did. It's like, one day, I'll burn her too. And as she goes to stand outside, she's like, I wonder what Yoko's doing now. So she's probably snuggling up to her loving mother and is so happy that she never thinks of me anymore. It's like, I wonder what Dr. Finch is doing. Maybe he's relieved that Muster kidnapped me. Dr. Finch is a good man. He doesn't want to deal with a bad girl like me. And she thinks back to Muster telling her, who decided the wicked are not allowed to be happy? It's like, I wonder if Muster's right. Can even a bad girl like me find happiness? And her tummy just like gurgled. She's like, I'm hungry. And she goes, oh, God. As she goes to the cafeteria, like, toast and Be-Mite, please, mister. So you sure? You can have jam or peanut butter instead. It's like, I want Be-Mite. It's so gross. It's like she complains of how gross it is, but wolfs the stuff down all the same. It's like a weird little squirt. He's like, where are you going, mister? As he sees one of the chefs with like a little tray of food going nearby. It's like, taking food to the prisoner. This has to be Yoko, isn't it? It's like, prisoner, I'll take it for you. Or is it going to be Finch? I feel like it's got to be someone familiar. And you see her wheeling it out to a little building with the number 2 sign on it. So I think this is it. Mr. Prisoner, I bought lunch for you. Okay, never mind. It's someone completely different. It's like, why? What a surprise. For a moment, I thought a little dolly was strolling through. And Erica's like, oh my gosh, she sees Mr. Handsome Mask in there. It's like, my name is Dom John. Who are you? It's like, I'm Erica. It's like, I put the fillings in that sandwich. He's like, hey, thanks. It's like, bleh. It's like, there's Be-Mite in this ham sandwich. And Jeff, who is that youngster? It's like, forgive the late report. He infiltrated that castle while you were away, Baron Muster. He claimed that he was attempting to take his fiancée back. It's like, very good. And you see as Muster's taking him out of the cell, it's like, are you Muster? Give her back to me. It's like, don't worry, you'll see her very soon. And Erica's like, please, Muster, don't hurt Dom John. It's like, have no fear, Erica. Nobody will be killing him today. Now follow. Oh, what the fuck, bro? And you see just a bunch of statues of women in this place. And he's like, whoa, what's this? He's like, why, it's my glorious collection. And you see him going over to one of the statues and he just falls to his knee and starts screaming. And Erica's like, what's wrong, Dom John? He's like, is that? Oh, what the fuck, bro? And you see a statue, like a statue of a woman, like leaning back in this pose, like a sword impaled through her chest. It's like, Elsa, what happened to you? It's like, what? You mean that's not just a plaster statue? It's like, I love the emotion in your voice, boy. Nothing is more of a stimulant to me than the anguished cries of the weak and powerless. It's like, yes, it's true. These are not just statues, but were once living women. Look closely and you'll see even the fine body hair that a sculpture cannot recreate. By using a crystallizing poison that instantly hardens all the protein in their flesh, their physical forms are frozen in the moment of the greatest beauty, such that will hold forever in that state. And he's a demon as he tries to lunge at him, and so he just kicks him in the midriff and knocks him down. And Erica's like, stop it, Zoe! It's like, this is horrible, Muster. How can you kill and display women who did nothing to you? Don't you feel sorry for them? He's like, sorry? But you see, that just makes the pleasure of utterly dominating such a person all the sweeter. Eventually you will understand this too, Erica. And once you've tasted that nectar, you'll never be able to resist its siren call. Jeff, how many days ago did you imprison this young man, Miguel? It's like, about 5 days, Baron. It's like, then it's nearly time. He's going to crystallize as well, isn't he? So do you feel numbness in your fingertips, a surge of nausea in your belly? It's like, well, what? So now that you mention it, and he's like, by tomorrow the pain will overwhelm your body and you won't be able to stand up. And in 2 days, you will die. It's like, you monster, you poisoned my food? Erica's like, I didn't know. It's like, just kill me and be done with it, damn you. He's like, hold out your hand, Erica. And he pops a little pill into there. He's like, that's an antidote pill. Just one on its own won't cure his poison, but it will keep him alive for another week. Take that pill. I'll allow you to stay in Muster Castle as Erica's pet hound. And if you behave yourself, you might just get another pill in 1 week's time. It's like, if you refuse this offer and decide to follow your lover's example, that is your choice. So make it. It's like, and Erica's like, Dumb John, take the pill. And you see as he just grabs and pops it. And you see later that night, he's like, go on, laugh at me. I'm pathetic. I was too afraid to die. It's like, I won't laugh at you. You can't get revenge if you're dead. It's like, revenge? Impossible. He's a monster. He has no humanity in him. It's like, it's okay. I'll help you. I'll try to find out Muster's weakness and come up with a plan. We'll get rid of him and escape this castle together. And you see how she's sneaking around. Yeah, speaking of which, how is Yoko doing so far? And she's like, Yoko? I was like, she is quite well. The woman is taking good care of her. I fucking knew it. It's like, good to hear. It's like, I will admit that looking at the thing makes me queasy, however. Why, it's almost like a real human toddler. It's like, but I suggest you act very carefully, Duke Marquis. And Erica's like, Muster, what's the meaning of this? He's like, why, Erica? Don't you know that eavesdropping is considered rude? It's like, why are you talking about Yoko? He's like, do you want to know? Fucking, come on. You can't fucking end it there like that. What the hell kind of fucking cliffhanger is that, bro? Oh, good damn it. Alright, so I guess quick thoughts on the volume before we end this. So I think out of all the Mars Chronicle volumes so far, I think this one has definitely been the most interesting and most intriguing to me personally. And I think so far, I feel like I like Erica as a character much more than I like, Alita. We'll see how that. We'll see if my thoughts and feelings on that change when we get further into it. But just the abuse thing has always been kind of like one of those things where it'll just instantly always make me sympathize with a character, and I think Erica's story in regards to that was done really, really well, where you kind of really get the sense of how disillusioned she was with her life. You know, this poor little kid that had to kind of, repress all these memories and kind of disassociate from how horrific her life was, to kind of imagine a better one for herself. And you can see kind of why she kind of develops such kind of like a strong emotional attachment to Yoko, where she's like, oh, it's like, oh, I have to be the big sister. Here's someone that depends on me, like someone I can take care of. All that. You can see like why she kind of like kind of bonded with her so closely. So I think Kishore did a really, really effective job of kind of like getting across like the despair and like the solitude and everything of Erica's like past, like all the decisions she made. So yeah, really, really, really good job with that. Really, really looking forward to where her character is going from here. So I think that was definitely my favorite part of the volume, even though so much of a gut punch. Apart from that, Muster, I'm kind of still jury's kind of out on that because a lot of the build up towards Muster, where you kind of like find like his introductory, like he swoops in, I was like joking about like tuxedo mask and all that, and then when you see his I think the reason why Muster was it like, no, it wasn't the, hold on, let me just quickly look this up, because I want to say there's like a group called like the Munsters, that's what it was. This has to be a reference to the Munsters. There can't be a way that it was not a reference. But that's what it gave me, with like the Frankenstein and like the thing, there's gotta be like, you have the Frankenstein, you have Munsters, like I assume the Dracula with like the cloak, I assume Zoe's supposed to be like Lily Munster and all that, but this has to be a reference to that. I can't think it has to be a reference to anything else, but that's why it sounds so familiar to me. I don't really know much about this show. Like I've just heard it, just kind of sunk into me like through osmosis and stuff. But I'm gonna do a deeper dive into this. But I do love the Muster family because it felt very almost like Toku-ish at the beginning, like Power Rangers, where they have like the evil mastermind, like wears the mask, the top coat. He's like almost over the top, comedically villainous, where he comes up with like this crystallization potion and all that. And he's got this weird castle Hasselheide, like walks around on like spider legs everywhere. And then towards the end, we kind of get deeper into like, this guy's really, really psychologically fucked up. Like he's gonna kind of corrupt, quote unquote, Erica. So I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing that kind of progression happen. So I think the only things I kind of have to criticize about this volume is again the weird kind of, I don't want to call it pure Orientalism, where you have like the whole like the myth of like the Jinn on Mars and everything. It feels like a kind of weird mythos to bring into this story specifically. So yeah, it's the one kind of weird thing which stuck out to me, because we again had this back in Last Order. We had kind of this very stereotypical, kind of like Indian fakir, snake charmer robot. And I know someone back then when I did that video mentioned that Kishiro kind of like apologized later for doing like such a very stereotypical character. But then in this one, having like a whole story about like the Jinn of Mars, which is a very real kind of like cultural thing, kind of like changing like a little kid story. I don't know how I really feel about that. We'll have to see if it gets brought back and like integrated in the story before I kind of cement my thoughts on it. Without kind of the one of the few things where still I'm like, Kishiro, I didn't think we really needed this. Apart from that, I think he kind of still does struggle with the tonal shifts a little bit. Like it goes from like very comedic, almost parody-ish to serious, and I feel like the hit doesn't really land. I feel like, 'cause as much as I like that at the end we're kind of seeing like, despite like Munster's whole Muster's whole thing of like, being almost comically evil, with like, the weird mascatosis disease he comes up with. The fact that we're seeing like the darker side to him, I feel like it didn't really land with the impact that it should have, and I feel like that's been a consistent thing with Kishiro, where he doesn't really always land kind of the tonal shifts in his manga, where it kind of switches from the comedy to the violence to like the darker subjects kind of seamlessly. But it's kind of a minor complaint overall. I still did really, really enjoy this volume. That was a hell of a way to end a cliffhanger. Like it feels like there was it didn't feel like a real cliffhanger. It felt like there was supposed to be like one more page or two. It felt a little bit too abrupt. But I'll say it did its job. I'm very, very excited to dive into the next volume. So we'll get to that next week at some point. So with all that said, I hope you all did enjoy this video. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you did, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, I will also try to get around to Black Hammer today as well. If I don't, it will be out tomorrow along with the new video for Bride Story. So until then, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.